Oh,
Yeah,
but
I agree with you.
Yeah. They hired me to take pictures. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but we should put it more over here because if we put it more over here, we won't get that ugly
me.
fence.
Yeah, sorry.
We won't get that who's he hoo hoo. Over. Oh, he's in the perfect spot. Over here more.
Yeah. So we can show the building.
Yeah, over here more, even
Yeah,
more.
that's better.
Right, even so we won't get that ugly.
And put it a little back because, please.
Yeah, that's better.
Better off. Yeah.
Where you guys from?
Can I move over a
Yeah.
little bit with you guys?
Yeah. And I'm gonna be next to you.
Okay.
Ooh, fancy.
Yeah.
Fancy.
I'm with News 12.
Oh, that's wonderful. Hi. You look familiar.
Oh, sweet. Oh.
Am I?
Yeah.
Oh, he had to wear the day glow. If he gets to my shot. No,
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
Yeah.
I'm playing.
Want a sign? Anybody want a triangle?
Okay, perfect. I'm gonna bring. Okay, perfect. I'll make it quick, but I'll have you. It's a.
They should move that way.
I can take two.
All right, I need to. Now, are you taking photos or
And
can I
both.
be where you are?
I'm both.
So this way.
Okay, because.
Yeah.
Perfect. And we'll do it one-on-one. So I'll ask you some questions first, and then I'll ask you some questions first.
She said she's fine.
Testing 1, 2, 3, 4. So the whole time you're just gonna look over at me right here, and we're just gonna have it. Okay. So let's start. Can you spell your first and last name?
Sure, Denise Clay, DENISE.
And your official title pertaining to this event. You're the main organizer.
I'm a tenant. I'm a tenant at 387 Prospect Avenue.
Okay. I'm gonna have you take one tiny step back.
Sure.
Perfect. Okay, so tell me what's going on inside your house.
No.
Good. We're getting set up with some tax entertainment.
Great. Thank you.
So, you are
Yeah. Basically.
for everybody, please take them.
Retired, basically, a freelance, yeah, absolutely.
What it means.
I can just wander around and do whatever I want. It's very cool. How are you doing? How long have you been doing a county project?
Since September.
Oh, okay. So yeah, the last time I did a story that involved the county, I guess you weren't there.
Trying to maintain affordability or to make everyone No, I know. Our building is maintained to a standard that is, appropriate for all tenants.
How is this act relevant to what you guys are doing?
Just a wonderful opportunity for all tenants, not just tenants in Missouri, but tenants across the city and the state. Affordability is a major concern. Yeah.
The guy in
that does have
CSS.
yes.
Okay, I've only talked to him on the phone, so I
So we need something that I had to maintain.
Yeah, no problem.
Sure that
How would it help tenants like you? Like, what would you be able to do in this situation?
well, clearly the opportunity to purchase your apartment would be life-changing. As the tenants of Spirit 7,000 support.
So is that sort of your dream where, like, if the class started expiring, you could have that priority to buy the apartment?
No,
Right?
I'm
That's
media.
what the-
I'm media.
Okay.
Take it.
It is totally
Yeah.
an amazing opportunity. We're on
And I'm going to ask you a few questions, if that's okay.
So I'm just giving you this. Also, I'm just giving you this, ma'am.
Oh, give me 1 second. I'm back this way. Yeah. So I'm going to switch around, and you're going to listen the whole time. I think someone from Tom Taylor. So just start by saying and spelling your first name. What is going on for you right now? Are you going to be a mistake?
Just get somebody. This is too good of a sign.
Is it stressful right now for you personally?
I would say no, because I have hope that this is getting resolved. One way or another, it's going to get resolved. It would be nice if we had the opportunity.
Yeah, if that's always the dream for you, we can walk along.
Yes, yeah.
Honestly, maybe a better angle could be.
Yes, I did. Abby gave me one. Yeah.
Great. Where are you from?
I'm from France.
Okay. Nice. I'm Elise with New Economy Project.
Oh, okay. Doug Turetsky.
Okay. Thanks for coming.
Yeah,
And
no
did
problem.
you get one of these?
No, from CSS? No.
Yes.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Thanks for coming.
Yeah, no problem.
Why organize? Why be here today?
So that we can show people as a city that they have the opportunity to, if this bill is, this would be good for the whole city, not the members. I know.
I appreciate your time. Can you move over a little bit? Thank you.
And let's see. There's
Yeah, that would be great.
Yeah, if you have a vision.
The lighting is going to be really hard. The lighting is
If
so
you have a
good.
vision for how this could be.
Like it just felt very I don't know.
Yeah, Marcella, you wanna kick us off? Alright, we need a cheerleader. Hey, John.
Fight, fight, fight! Housing is a human right! 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 Fight, fight, fight! Housing is a human right!
Fight, fight, fight.
Housing is a human right! Fight, fight, fight! 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 Housing is a human right! Okay, let's do another one. When I say tenant, you say power. Tenant! Power! Tenant! Power! Tenant! Power! Tenant! Power! So let's try one in Spanish. We're going to say, ¿qué queremos? Vamos a decir TOPA. Cuando digo cuándo, vamos a decir ahora. ¿Ok? ¿Qué queremos? TOPA. ¿Cuándo? Ahora. 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 Ok, y este creo que varios saben. Aquí estamos y no nos vamos. Si nos echan, regresamos. ¿Ready? Aquí estamos y no nos vamos. Y si nos echan, regresamos. Aquí estamos y no nos vamos. Y si nos echan, regresamos. Aquí estamos y no nos vamos. Y si nos echan, nos regresamos. Thank you so much. Good morning, everyone. I am Assemblymember Marcella Matenas. I represent the 51st Assembly District. I am also the first immigrant indigenous Peruvian in the state legislature. So before I got into the assembly, I, like many New Yorkers, were facing my own housing insecurity. In 2006, we got a new owner of a 35-unit rent-stabilized building in Sunset Park. And within 6 months, he was able to displace half of the Latino families that live there, including mine. We had been living there for close to 30 years when we were forced out of our home. This is something that we're seeing over and over and over again, the over-leveraging of the purchases of our buildings, of our homes, knowing that the rent roll will not match the mortgage payments, let alone make them profits. So what is their plan? Their plan is to tap into those underdeveloped assets by forcing out the tenants that are paying a low amount of rent to bring in new tenants, all while ignoring basic maintenance and repairs that our properties need. This isn't new. This has been happening over and over again. So why not invest in our communities? Why not invest in our people by giving them the opportunity to actually purchase the buildings where they live? And that's where TOPA comes in. TOPA is the Tenants Opportunity to Purchase Act. Why not allow tenants to purchase the buildings in which they are renters at a price that is fair to the seller and the purchaser? Why not create a pathway and a mobility from working class to middle class by being homeowners? the housing market in New York for prices that are affordable for working class. It will help prevent displacement and preserve what is left of our affordable housing stock. It's an opportunity to own or remain in the properties where one resides. It's the right of first refusal. We need to invest by state funds to help them acquire the properties. And if we can stabilize people in their homes, then we can stabilize our communities. Voy a hablar un poquito en español. Gracias a todos por estar aquí. Yo soy asamblista Marcela Mitaine, soy la primera inmigrante indígena peruana en la legislatura estatal. Antes de entrar a la legislatura, yo como muchos neoyorquinos también tuve mi problema de vivienda. Cuando en el 2006 vino un propietario, compró mi edificio de 35 apartamentos y en menos de 6 meses pudo desplazar a la mitad de las familias. Yo también fui desplazada de un apartamento que compartí con mi familia por casi 30 años. Esto no es nuevo, estamos viendo esta repetición de comprando nuestros edificios, sabiendo que la renta que están colectando no es suficiente para la hipoteca. Y el plan de ellos es desplazar a los inquilinos que están pagando poca renta para hacer entrar inquilinos que paguen más. Con esta legislación le daríamos la oportunidad a los inquilinos ser dueños. Un camino de la clase obrera a la clase media. Esta legislación puede ayudar a estabilizar la marqueta de la vivienda, prevenir desplazamiento y preservar nuestra vivienda asequible a un precio que es justo para el que está vendiendo y el que está comprando. ¿Por qué no, como el Estado, intervenir? Ayudar con fondos para que los inquilinos puedan adquirir las propiedades. Si podemos invertir en nuestros hogares, podemos estabilizarlos y podemos estabilizar nuestra comunidad. So now I'd like to introduce some tenants from 287 Prospect Avenue to talk a little bit about what they've been going through. And first, we're going to hear from Ms. Ingrid Callender on the history of the building and their organizing efforts.
I'd just like to thank everybody that came out today. It's great that we have this kind of support for this bill, and we hope it passes, okay? Because this will give everybody in New York, not just our building, but in New York, across the city, the 5 boroughs, this opportunity. Everybody under rent stabilization, sooner or later, will be going through the same thing. We are a 421A building, and it's been that way for almost 25 years. And I've been in the building about that long. It was one thing when it started, it's a different thing today. So we have to be ready to protect the rights that we were given as a rent stabilization building. It's not fair. You see what happened to Marcella and her family. She explained to you. We don't want this to keep happening. It's happened a lot over time in this city. So this is why we're organizing today, and this is why we want everyone to read about this act, and support your local congresspeople who are trying to pass this bill. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Callender. And now we're going to listen from Denise Clay, who's also organizing in the building.
This is Hugo. Hi, Hugo. Over a decade ago, my husband and I moved into 287 Prospect Avenue. It's the building just across the street. We brought home both our babies to that apartment. It's the only place our kids have ever known. Now, 8 and 10, and in the 10 years that we've lived there, we've built community. We've experienced the rich ups and downs of life, and it's gone from being an apartment to being our home. However, The unfortunate reality when you live in a 421A building like ours, where the tax abatement eventually expires and your building will destabilize, is that even with the gratitude you feel for your rent stabilized status, there's still a tremendous amount of uncertainty and stress. Sorry, I'm nervous. As the end of the 421A grows near in our building, it started to feel like we're living with a countdown clock, reminding us that our time in our homes could be running out. In addition to our building being on and off the market for years, our landlord started warehousing apartments, and our building was starting to show tremendous signs of neglect. Thankfully, through our organizing efforts, we've had some meaningful wins. We discovered that our landlords had been deceiving us for years, having us sign riders with false information about the end of the 421A and our rights as tenants. We were able to get HDC involved and to provide tenants with updated, accurate riders, accurate information about their rights beyond the 421A. We learned there was a regulatory agreement in place and that we had a layer of protection all along. We've organized to try to improve conditions and work toward necessary maintenance. But even with the wins, even with our ongoing efforts to organize and hold our landlords accountable, there's an ever-present feeling of vulnerability and vigilance that we have to live with. As renters, we remain at the mercy of our landlords, who clearly do not have our best interest in mind. We need a bill like TOPA, which would not only preserve our housing security, but would allow us to live with the peace of mind and a sense of ease that does not feel possible without ownership. Thank you so much for the help of so many who are here today fighting this fight along with us, including all the tenants of 287 Prospect Avenue. We stand with you in support of TOPA, and we hope we can keep working together to make this important bill a reality. Yeah. Thank you.
What we don't talk about is the trauma that's inflicted on our families, our children, and our seniors when they're evicted from the home that they know. This is too much of a reality for too many New Yorkers right now, and we are at a pivotal moment where we need to act. Next, I'd like to introduce Sam Sine, who's going to talk about our recent report.
Thank you, Assemblymember Mateñas. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Thank you to the tenants at 287 Prospect Ave. We're all here to support TOPA, right? Well, it turns out almost all New York City residents feel the same. Every year, the Community Service Society of New York does a survey called the Unheard Third Survey of New York City residents. And we asked them this year, what's the one thing you feel like you need to get ahead economically in this city? And overwhelmingly, the answer was affordable housing. It was the answer across demographic groups. It was the answer across the city. But then we asked more specifically. There's this program, this bill called TOPA, and we described in very neutral language what TOPA would do. And we said, do you support this bill or do you oppose it? And 82% of New York City residents said, we support TOPA. 82% of New York City residents, that's like almost 7 million people. What else can 7 million New York City residents agree on? But we agree that tenants should have control of their homes and control of their destinies, that when their building goes up for sale, that they should have a right to buy it, to turn it into permanently affordable housing, to put it under tenant or nonprofit or public control, that it should be their choice and their right. 82% of New Yorkers. This was the case across gender, across race, across boroughs, across ages. Democrats, independents, even a majority of Republicans, more than 2/3, said yes to TOPA. So we are calling on the state government to pass TOPA, to put it in the budget, and to make this a reality for all New Yorkers. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Sam. Let's do one more chance. Show me what community looks like. This is what community looks like. Show me what community looks like. This is what community looks like. Show me what community looks like. This is what community looks like. Show me what community looks like. This is what community looks like. Next, I'd like to bring up 3 more speakers, John, Gary, and Mia. So this is John from 63 Tiffany.
How you guys doing? I'm not much of a public speaker, but when I say TOPA, you say now. TOPA, now. TOPA, now. TOPA, now. TOPA. Now. That's right. All right, we're gonna get this done. TOPA's near and dear to my heart because in 2009 we got a new landlord. Like, we were under a LIHTC agreement that we didn't even know about. I signed my lease when I was 22 years old. I didn't know what I was doing. Right, so I just signed it, and and I didn't know that there was and the real estate industry likes to put these beautiful names on the sunset. The sunsets are beautiful, right? No, this is not a sunset. This is doomsday. You know what I mean? Don't let them use those words. It's doomsday. When the LIHTC agreement, when a 421A agreement expires, it's doomsday. It's over for you. It's not a beautiful sunset. So so in 2009, related, they renewed the program after 15 years. So we didn't even know what was going on, and we just had a new landlord. Now that landlord bought our building for $5.3 million, a 70-unit building. And, in an up-and-coming area at the time, we would have bought that building. It was like $75,000 a unit at the time. So we could have bought that building and, and we wouldn't be going through what we're going through now. So this law is so important to us. It just gives us an opportunity. These things can happen. That happened right under, like, 1 month. They just told us, send now your rent to this address. And we're like, what's going on? We had no idea what was going on. And then this guy just went downhill from there. We've been fighting him for 15 years. When she talks about the trauma, people are coming up to me in elevators just crying. They don't know the instability. 15 years, we don't know what's going to happen, where we're going. Everybody, they asked me, a reporter the other day asked me, well, what's your plan? And I just stayed quiet, and I said, I don't know. I feel stupid. I don't have a plan. There is no plan B. Where am I going? I'm priced out of New York at this point. So if we could have bought it 15 years ago, we wouldn't be in this situation. And if we could buy it now, if TOPA passes now, we could try now. It's a lot more money now. I don't know if we'll even, but we can try now. So everybody should have this opportunity. Anybody that's against TOPA, because I've been trying to figure out, why would you be against TOPA? You're just being malicious. Honestly, you're just being malicious at this point, because it's not asking for you to sell it for less money or anything. Just let us match the offer. That's all it is. It's just an opportunity. That's all. That's all we're asking for, an opportunity. No, nothing free. Just give us an opportunity to engage and not sell it out from under us to another speculative landlord. We got to get them out. We got to stop making homes commodities. They're not. These are not commodities. These are homes. These are homes. And, anybody that owns one should respect it as such. And if you don't, I'm going to take this opportunity, now that everybody's looking at me, to say this. A few days, like a couple of weeks ago, we came up with the worst landlords list, right? That's based on violations. So now who's going to go after them? I keep saying that tenants in America in general are the most abused consumers. There's all kind of watch groups and all that watching all kind of other industries. But for us, I don't know if they're supposed to be there, but I'm telling you, I've had meetings with all the agencies. I don't want to name them because, I'm still working with them. But I've had, and none of them have been responsive. Like we have, the warehousing. We have 6 empty apartments. That's 6 families, some for over 5 years. That's 6 families right now sitting in a shelter that could be in a home. And under the LIHTC agreement, he was supposed to rent them out. That's part of the agreement. So when we bring that up to the agency, oh, well, I don't know. That's all. That's all you get from them. So who protects us? Who's going to go after these bad landlords? Like, I don't get it. It's almost bragging rights for them. Next year, I'm going to be number 1. And nothing happens to them. Individually, everybody, the buildings, they fight and this and that, but nobody really goes after them. In Binghamton, they went after a landlord. They took away his properties. And for 15 years, he can't be involved in the real estate industry. Right? They took away his license. That can happen. It's not impossible. So why isn't it happening? I don't know. That's beyond the scope of this press conference, though. TOPA would be life-changing for, it would have been life-changing for us for years ago. It will be life-changing for us now. It'll give us a chance to compete, to at least try to buy our building. And please, everybody, TOPA. When I say TOPA, you say now.
Now.
TOPA. Now. TOPA. Now. TOPA. Now. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, John. Next, we're going to hear from Gary from 120 East 19th Street.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for your time. It's my pleasure to be here. And I'm sorry about the circumstances, but nonetheless, the first thing I'd like to say is the rent is too damn high. Right. When the real estate bubble bust, housing prices went down, but rent stayed steady and it kept increasing. The situation we're going through in our building is not much different than anyone else, really. But we've been through several owners. We've been through several owners. We've been through the repeated dealings with DHCR, HUD, HBD, with complaints. I've lived in my building over 20 years, so I've seen from even the very first owner where she would come by personally and say hi on Sundays. They had a family, one family that took care of the whole building. They swept and mopped. They were from Colombia, Mr. Campo. They swept and mopped from the 6th floor down every day, both sides. As management changed, it's like the services drastically reduced. So you had a guy, one supervisor, I don't work at 5. So, you know, so steadily, we have a steady decline. And just like you said, our properties are used as commodities. The thing with us is what we've managed to do is we're working hard. We built a team within our building, so we're like a solid team. We're cosmopolitan, different races, colors, creeds, religions, but we stick together. We make sure we get things done. So we fought MCIs and we've won. We have about 2 rent reductions that are active, right? But we don't really want that. We want repairs and things that get done, right? Even now what happens is there's a new management company that took over, Rose Associates. And they're the worst. They are the worst. So what happens is we've even tried, well, through the grace of God, like when you do good things happen to you. You know what I'm saying? So what happened is we've been blessed to have some beautiful people placed in our path. Like I don't know if you guys know Ada from FTC. She's the one that got us to start our own tenants association about 4 years ago, right? So another person who we met and has been helpful has been Elise. Where's Elise at? Elise from the County Project. What Elise put us in touch with Ariel from UHAB. So they explained the whole model of how to purchase your own home. So we were hyped about it. As a matter of fact, we went from door to door. We got about 90% of the tenants to sign on to that, right? So now, another person that I think it was Elise put us in contact with is Rachel from Brooklyn Level Up. And that's like a community land trust that helps you get everything in order, all the ducks in a row to get yourself ready to purchase, right? We even reached out to the ownership. There's an owner named Margaret Stryker. She's also aligned with Sentinel Management. They own tons of properties in New York and in the US. That didn't really, well, one of us actually went to her teaching classes, but that didn't really, she's probably not the